My dad tried warning me about the effects of the freezing weather. I wished I listened. The last few winters had been pretty mild, all things considered. I grew up with parents who lived through the blizzard of '78 and talked about it any chance they got. My dad was a bit of a prepper. We always had a generator, kerosene heater, and shelves full of canned food in case of an emergency. My parents relocated to Florida 2 years ago, enjoying the warmer weather and beaches. They only visited my siblings and me in Ohio during the summer. We were, of course, free to visit them in Florida anytime. Unlike most of my family, I really didn't mind the winter. I wasn't particularly sensitive to cold and enjoyed the way the world slowed down, at least after the holidays. My phone rang, waking me from a dead sleep. I rubbed my eyes, annoyed that anyone was calling at 8 sharp on a Sunday. "Hey Dad," I answered. "Hey son, how are you?" I yawned. "Pretty tired. Is everything okay?" I asked. Of course, I was hoping his call wasn't serious, but at the same time, I wasn't very happy about getting woken up so early. Dad must have sensed the slight annoyance in my voice. "Sorry to call so early, but I wanted to give you a heads up about the cold weather coming up." I was confused. Winter weather was typical in Ohio. Obviously, some years were worse than others, but it wasn't like some of the southern states where the world shuts down for an inch of snow. "Okay, what's up?" I asked. Dad immediately launched into a long explanation about how this weekend would be some of the coldest weather Ohio's ever seen, and gave me tips on protecting my home and car from the effects of the cold. I silently nodded along, too tired to really register a lot of it. All in all, I knew the drill. Change the furnace filter, don't alternate temperatures on the thermostat, let the water drip to avoid pipes freezing, keep emergency supplies on hand in case of an outage. I know you know all this, son. It's just the dad in me wanting to remind you. I began to feel guilty. Here I was annoyed at getting a call so early, but all he was doing was looking out for me, even though I was 28 and several states away. "Thanks, Dad. I got it." "Hey, one more thing," he said. There was a long pause, then he hesitated. "The world gets a little, well, let's just say things can get a little different when the weather gets like this, especially for days at a time. Double that if the power goes out. You can't be too careful." This felt ominous, but I assumed he was talking about crimes like looting and break-ins. Like and subscribe for part 2.